Have you ever been on the receiving end of an injustice? To hear them tell it, my children, particularly my daughter, are often on the end of injustice. It's not fair, she tells me, when she can't have a snack right before dinner, when I bring her an orange lollipop after school instead of a purple lollipop, when I tell her off for hitting her brother round the head with a lightsaber. It's not fair. It seems to be the cry of many a child. And the traditional parental response is, of course, get used to it. Life is not fair. And you know what? Sometimes life really isn't fair. And yet we as humans, we seem to have this built-in belief that it should be. We believe that the wicked should be punished and the good rewarded. We believe that people should get their comeuppance, that what comes around really should go around. When life turns out to not be fair, we often want to do something ourselves to redress the balance. We want to take our own vengeance. We want to seek our own solutions, even the score. There are two problems with that. One is that the Bible tells us that we are to forgive, that God will judge and punish as necessary, that he will deal with everyone as appropriate. The other problem is that sometimes we are powerless in the face of those who do us wrong. When multi-billion-dollar corporations refuse to pay tax, that is unjust, but I can't do anything about it. When politicians deliberately deceive us, that is unjust, but I can do very little about it. When across the world men in power use that power to commit terrible acts of genocide, killing, displacing, sending people into poverty, I feel I can do nothing about it. And that's where today's psalmist is coming from as well. This is Psalm 10 from the Message version. God, are you avoiding me? Where are you when I need you? Full of hot air, the wicked are hot on the trail of the poor. Trip them up, tangle them up in their fine-tuned plots. The wicked are windbags, the swindlers have foul breath. The wicked snub God, their noses stuck high in the air, their graffiti scrawled on the walls. Catch us if you can, God is dead. They care nothing for what you think. If you get in their way, they blow you off. They live, they think, a charmed life. We can't go wrong, this is our lucky year. They carry a mouthful of hexes, their tongue spit venom like adders. They hide behind ordinary people, they pounce on their victims. They mark the luckless, then wait like a hunter in a blind. When the poor wretch wanders too close, they stab him in the back. The hapless fool is kicked to the ground, the unlucky victim brutally axed. He thinks God has dumped him. He's sure God is indifferent to his plight. Time to get up, God. Get moving. The luckless think they're God-forsaken. They wonder why the wicked scorn God and get away with it, why the wicked are so cocksure they'll never come up for an audit. But you know all about it, the contempt, the abuse. I dare to believe that the luckless will get lucky someday in you. You won't let them down. Orphans won't be orphans forever. So break the wicked's right arms, break all the evil left arms, search and destroy every sign of crime. God's grace and order wins. Godlessness loses. The victim's faint pulse picks up. The hearts of the hopeless pump red blood as you put your ear to their lips. Orphans get parents. The homeless get homes. The reign of terror is over. The rule of the gang lords is ended. Sometimes in our helplessness, in the face of injustice and pain, all we can do is cry out to God for help. When others seem to have all the power and we have no power, we cry out to the all-powerful one. The psalmist asks for the power of the oppressor to be broken, for his arms to be broken so that he cannot continue to cause pain. He calls for God to prove himself God. Sometimes all we can do is cry out to God in our pain. on behalf of ourselves and of others, and trust in him to do what needs to be done. And the psalm ends with that promise, doesn't it? That God will act. That one day the victim will stand tall. That orphans will get parents. That homeless will get homes. Jesus Christ will rule over all. And this is our hope beyond the pain. This is what we strive for as God's people. This is what we cry out for in our despair. And so today I want to encourage you to cry to God with me. Cry out for the homeless and exploited. Cry out for the refugee and oppressed minority. Cry out for those who are victimised for their religion or their race. Cry out against injustice and fear. Cry out to God. Cry with me, God, may your kingdom come. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.